From the Figure 4 Online Studios in beautiful Bothell, Washington, exclusively at WrestlingObserver.com, you're listening to The Bryan and Vinny Show with your hosts, Brian Alvarez and Big Vinny V.
All right, let's do this. It's the Bryan Vinny Show. It is December 13, 2015, figure4online.com/WrestlingObserver.com. Vinny is here. SmackDown only tonight. Not SmackDown. The fuck am I?
Doesn't matter.
You know what? I was up really late last night. This is the problem with this baby coming.
It's not even here yet.
I don't do well with no sleep. I got to figure something out. We were up till 4 a.m. last night doing the Observer radio show, and then I got up early this morning because Whitney went to San Francisco for a whale conference. So first off, I have no wife here. It's hard enough. I got no sleep, and I just been generally pissed off all day today. And then I watched this show. And if you've been listening to the radio shows of late, honest to God, I've been trying really hard to stay positive. There's been a lot of bad stuff on television. There's been a lot of shit. There's a lot of stuff to bitch about. But as I've mentioned a million times on Observer Live, I don't want to bore the listeners. So I make a couple of quick statements. I try and move on. There's a lot of other stuff to talk about. And to be fair, the end of this show was pretty good. It's really good, actually. The first three-way ladder match on the show was something to behold. Mm-hmm. But I remember in 1998, it was the spring of 1998, a beautiful spring day. I was 23 years old. And that was a day that I figured out, you know what? WCW is fucked. And strangely enough, the day that I figured out that they were fucked, they were in the middle of their longest sellout streak of all time. Now, I don't know if you've noticed or not, Vinny, but over the last couple of days, people have been noting things like, they're going to sell out TLC. It's been a great weekend, WWE house show business. NXT's doing great over there in the UK. WCW was doing really, really great in spring of 1998. I figured out they were fucked. Now, I don't want to say that WCW is fucked. I don't want to go that far. But
I think WCW is pretty fucked.
I watched this show, and I'm just baffled. What's today?
Sunday the 13th? Yes.
13th of what?
December.
Of what?
2015.
2015. It took them until December 13, 2015 to figure out that people want to see the babyface beat ass.
Yeah.
Really, you dumb fuckers?
Yeah.
Maybe if they would have figured this out in January, that the people want to see Roman Reigns beat ass and win, even though he didn't win here, but he at least beat up all of the heels at the end. Maybe in January, if they would have figured out this guy should beat ass, win, and not talk a lot, we wouldn't have had this whole fucking horrible year of WWE television. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, well, Brian, they pushed him as a guy that always won, and the people still booed him. Yeah, do you remember what else they did with this guy? And they're still doing it. Mm-hmm. He's still talking about tater tots. What fucking normal person wants to see a big, mean-looking Samoan talk about fucking tater tots and do shitty John Cena promos? I don't want to see this guy talk. You know what else I don't want to see? I don't want to see him be a wrestler. I want to see him be a big, bad-ass Samoan who beats everybody's ass. I don't want to hear him talk. I don't want to see him exchange holds. And you know what else I don't want to see? I don't want to see him lose. Is it that hard to take a guy who looks like a killer and have him win quickly and decisively? Brock Lesnar. maybe instead of trying to make Roman Reigns the next John Cena, they could have tried to make him the next Brock Lesnar, and we wouldn't have this goddamn horrible year we've been having. But no, he's got to go out there and he's got to tell stories, and he's got to do that goofy chuckle, and he's got to laugh, and he's got to do all of these long wrestling matches with the Big Show, and they are baffled. They can't figure it out. And finally, on December 13th, he lays waste to a bunch of guys. Everybody cheers, and they're probably like, oh, man, we got it now. And then, you know what's going to happen on Raw tomorrow? Stephanie McMahon's going to come out, and she's going to cut a promo on this fella because he beat up her husband. And Stephanie's going to have to give this fella a piece of her mind. Now, on this PG show, he ain't going to give her a spear, a stunner, or any other badass move. Maybe he'll argue with her, but it's probably going to be a 20-minute promo full of talking, and maybe he'll be fired or suspended, or you know what? Maybe he'll be put in some sort of deal where he's got to win a bunch of matches and he gets fucked again. I don't know what's going to happen, but if you think I have any faith after this angle they did at the end of this show, think again.
That's all for tonight, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Jesus Christ. He lost again.
Yes.
He lost again. And I'm sure they're backstage celebrating that, oh my God, that angle was so great. You know what would have been really great? If he would have done that at Survivor Series after he won the title. Maybe if they would have formed the League of Geeks before Survivor Series, and then he won the match, and then Sheamus cashed in, Roman Reigns beat him up, all of the League of Nations came out to try to make sure that Sheamus got this cash in, and he beat the shit out of every single one of them, retained his title, and then Hunter came out and Roman beat the shit out of him as well. Lo and behold, what have we got? What we have is a winner who is a champion and who's a badass. Not this fucking guy whose gimmick, per the announcers, is he's the bridesmaid. That's going to get him over. He's a female helper at a wedding. Way to go, dude. You lost again. And Sheamus, I fucking said this weeks ago. What we need during this period of record low ratings is Sheamus as the champion. Did I not fucking say that? And here we are setting record low ratings with Sheamus still as the champion. Way to go. Way to fucking go. And then, it's funny, I got a buddy, and he texts me and goes, is it just me, or did Hunter come off as the babyface in this whole thing? But I was like, well, you know, he was trying to calm the man down, and he was attacked. He was attacked, and he had the shit beat out of him in front of his wife. Now, everyone cheered. It's all weird, but Roman did get some boos there at the end when he was on the ramp. At the end of all of this cheering, there were still some dudes booing the guy. Fellas, it's never going to work. At least no time soon. He'll be booed again tomorrow. And if not, he's going to be booed again on SmackDown, or he's going to be booed again next week. The guy's going to be booed again because he's a loser. He can't win. He's a failure. And he's going to go in and he's going to get fucked. His friends already bailed on him. Where's his friends?
That's a great question.
Where are his friends and family? Gone. Now, maybe there's one way to remedy this, which would be the obvious way to remedy this, which would be that tomorrow Roman Reigns continues his path of destruction and he beats up his fucking friends and family. He kills Dean Ambrose because his buddy won and he didn't, and he's pissed off, and his friend wasn't there last night, so he kicks the shit out of him. Then the Usos come out, hey, bro, we're family, beats the shit out of them. Where were you fuckers last night? And he turns heel. He's got to go heel because he ain't going to be a babyface. He's got to go heel. He's going to go on a rampage. And then, you know what you can do? You can have Vince McMahon come back on the first SmackDown of 2016 and say, you know what? 2014 sucked. Or 2015. 2014
both,
too.
Really.
They both sucked. Yeah. Hunter, I don't know what you're doing with this shit show, but this show sucks. And so I am bringing back Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar is going to be on TV every single week from now until the Royal Rumble. And every week he's going to be facing a member of the League of Nations. And at the end of this road is Sheamus at the Royal Rumble. And Brock destroys Wade Barrett, who I think is still in the League of Nations, but I'm not entirely sure because he wasn't there tonight. He kills him. Then the next week he kills Rusev. Then the next week he kills Alberto Del Rio. And finally the Royal Rumble, he goes in and in 13 seconds, because I can tell you for a fact that a man beating another man in 13 seconds is a successful booking philosophy. He kills Sheamus in 13 seconds, and he's the champion. He's Vince's babyface champion. And then Hunter makes his big return, since he's been out of action for a month, and he says, listen, old man, you're old, okay? I'm the young guy. I'm taking over this show, and so I am booking my main man, Roman Reigns, against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. You do your stupid Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns match you've been wanting to do for 2 years, and who gives a fuck if they boo Roman because they're supposed to, and then he can beat the guy and win the title, and away you go. Push Dean Ambrose's babyface, do whatever the hell you want. But can we have some men win some matches? Please? That's all I ask. Can we have some men win? I want a good guy who wins, and I want a bad guy who wins, and then I want those two fuckers who win all the time to have a match at WrestleMania where only one of them is going to win. Is that too much to ask? I knew going into this show that I was going to be pissed off after UFC last night. I know you didn't watch UFC. That fucking show ruled. It's a show filled with real dudes. Have you realized, Vinny, that the biggest star in all of combat sports right now, that Mayweather is retired, is a 145-pound fucking Irishman. 145 pounds! He's the biggest star! They have no control over the finishes. None! They have no control over anything. This guy goes in, he has the best promos in the business, and he beat the fucking 10-year champion in 13 seconds. And these morons, who have full control over everything they do, can't get one big, mean Samoan over. Hello? Get with the fucking program!
Do you feel better now?
Drenched in sweat. Literally drenched in sweat.
Been here for 3.5 hours. You've been silent.
Hey, you know what else? I almost pulled a Violent J today. Remember that day he just went nuts and cut all his hair off? I was this fucking close on top of everything else. Yeah, that's where I was today. I may do it right now in the middle of the show. God damn. Just blows my mind. They're probably backstage so proud of themselves. Oh, we got people to cheer Roman. What a brilliant fucking idea we finally came up with on December 13, 2015, to get people to cheer Roman. Why didn't we think of this before? Man. Crazy. And you know what? They did that video package and they had tater tots in there. Because they still think that's cool.